Then we've got a couple of stories. One, someone's trying to look for advice on how to be a sleuth. The other, as the results are found out, and you just can't let go. Let's see what we got. I'm concerned my wife is either cheating or considering it. There have been a few red flags, but nothing solid. How do you figure this out before it hits your blind side? As the title says, I, 49 male, had become concerned about what is going on with my 43 female wife. As background, we are each on the second marriage. We have been together over 6 years and married for 2. I have 3 boys, ages 11, 14, and 16 that I have 50% of the time. She has a 10-year-old daughter that she has slightly less than 50% of the time. Overall, I would say that blending our families has been difficult, especially so, for her. We live primarily in the home I bought with my ex-wife. My wife still owns a condo near where her daughter goes to school, about an hour 15 minutes from the house. She needs the condo because of the parenting plan. It makes it so my wife has her daughter on Sundays that she has school. They're back to in person. Over time, my wife has expressed frustration over this huge house, which she did not pick, and the amount of work it takes upkeep. For the record, it's a 24,100 square foot, 3-bedroom colonial built in 1997. It's in this school system my kids attend and has been upgraded with nice finishes. It's in one of the best school districts in the state. I do the majority of the cleaning. I'll call it 6040. Then there are my boys. Each stage has brought its challenges. At first, they were wild and running around inside. The little one liked to scream for no reason. Then they got older. And the problems changed to where now the oldest was swearing sometimes. Doing this at all is totally unacceptable to my wife. This has improved, but now the other 2 do sometimes too. Overall, these are good kids, all active in sports, and doing from extremely well in school to at least acceptable passing. Currently, the issue between my wife and my kids is centered mostly around noise, the Xbox room. The house has 2 living areas and one I enclose with doors so as to reduce video game sounds. In addition, I got the headset so we don't hear the video game sounds. Although it's never really acceptable to her, mostly in my opinion because she doesn't want them playing as much as they do. They all play sports and take karate twice a week. Overall, they are actually quiet now, using their phones most of the time. She has struggled with sleep, though, because the phone conversations can be heard by her and our finished 3rd-floor office, which is now another bedroom for her and her daughter. The younger boys get to bouncing off the walls and keep her awake around bedtime. So I had to figure out ways to put them to bed at different times. So the little one is asleep when the middle one goes to the shared bedroom. Yes. I said my wife has been sleeping in a different room. I snore, so I can't really say anything. Flag 1, regardless. I had a 15-year marriage previously, and she slept in the same bed with earplugs. So my wife has started staying at her condo on Sunday nights. Daughter has school Monday morning, and she has started to stay Monday night also when I always have the boys. Flag 2. Her daughter goes to her dad, and she spends the day working from home, and the night alone at the condo. I agreed to it so she can have a break from the kids. There's an intolerance for my boys that I don't understand. I get that they take a lot to clean up and cook for. I take care of the boys' needs almost exclusively, although she does put laundry into the machine and generally picks up after them. They are typical teenage boys in the sloppy way. The thing I can't figure out is what the giant issue is. They don't get in trouble. My oldest works out almost daily. And otherwise, they, for the most part, are on their phones, texting, and so on. I barely hear from her during the day where we used to text frequently. Flag. I was doing laundry last weekend and folded a pair of underwear that she later called me to the bedroom to say they are not hers. For the record, I don't wear panties and have never had another woman in my house or otherwise, while I've been in with my wife. She basically accused me of cheating without fully saying it. That's where she went. Instead of those could be my ex-wives somehow tucked into other laundry, or my mom's too small admit. Mom does laundry at my house when she watches the boys after school. I have my mom cook for them when I can't be home, so my wife doesn't have to. Another flag. Then, my wife says to me that she hopes I would tell her if I want another woman because wouldn't want her to cheat on me. I took this as a threat. Ultimately, my wife decided the underwear is hers from a long time ago. I had washed the bedding. It is likely that it was stuck in something. Just the weekend before, she was threatening to leave because I didn't prioritize a washing machine repair, and so she flipped out and said she's leaving. This is typical of her when she gets irrationally upset and threatens to leave in order to get her way. She said a few things I'm doing wrong lately, including that I'm getting fat. She apologized for the accusation, but it felt empty to me. When I brought it up again, she said she already apologized. And what do I want her to do? So I ask you, what do I need to do to figure this out? Is she thinking about it? Done it already? Just done with the marriage overall? How can I get more evidence? Little sus might have to go covert ops on her. Just kidding. Let's see what the community says. Just a guy in 1961 says, nothing even written points directly to an affair. It does point to frustration and a lack of happiness, and those things create an environment where if a potential affair partner comes into her life, that she may well be vulnerable. For now, maybe you suggest that you sense she is not as happy as either would like, and that maybe marriage counseling could help you both reconnect. Good luck. Rainbow Kitten 123 says put a test to see if he is cheating and then threaten him with cheating. That points totally and directly to the fact that she is projecting herself onto him and wants an easy way out, so as not to look like a bitch for cheating on him. This is where you think why she got less than 50% custody of her daughter. It could be for anything, but evaluating her behavior and what she did, it sounds very suspicious. Straight Goods 30 says, when she has her daughter, how is she with her? Does she seem like a warm and caring mother, or does it seem like a forced situation? There's a 50-50 chance she is cheating, but it could be her just pulling away due to the fact that she's resenting being a mother and stepmother. A few things to look for is 1. Is she constantly on her phone? 2. When she's alone with her phone and you walk into the room, does she try and hide the screen or quickly put it away? 3. Is her phone always with her and never left unguarded? If she is doing any of these things, you might want to have a look at her phone to see what's going on. Another thing you can do to kill 2 birds with 1 stone is next Monday night, when she's at her condo, show up unexpected with flowers, a bottle of her favorite wine, and her favorite takeout. This will either be a step to rekindle what you had, or you show up and there's another man or a woman there with her, which in that case, you tell her don't bother coming back to the house. You'll arrange for her to pick up her things. And the other story for the day, cheated on by my girlfriend, now I'm obsessed after the breakup. I won the truth, but I lost my normal self. Here's my story. Writing it with so much pain and sorrow. Me, 31, and my girlfriend, 24, have been together for 5 years. And through these years, we were close and attached to each other, but still, there was this thing that annoyed me most of the time. I couldn't have enough trust in her because through the whole time, I often caught her having flirty conversations with other guys on social media. Each time I would forgive and excuse her. I would get over it due to many reasons. As of her age, it would make sense that she wants attention. Regardless, she seeked it the wrong way. And as for the insignificant insecurity she has, as she was bullied for being short and skinny while growing up. So she seek validation from people. Which hurt me as I was not enough to prevent her from seeking other guys' attention. Also, we would be walking or sitting at the cafe and she would keep looking around and exchanging eye contact with stranger guys, which made me always uncomfortable with her in public spaces. At some points, some guys would be encouraged enough to either follow us, happened once with a guy and his group of friends, where I was close to get into a fight, or smile to her. She has denied it as her fault until recently when she admitted many things. One time, when I was working in a different city, she used to complain about the fact that I have to go to sleep early and not stay up talking to her till 1 or 2 at night. Eventually, I figured she had made a new guy friend. I found signs of attraction she had for him. I confronted her on the phone and decided to break up with her. So she took the bus immediately and traveled 4 hours to reach me. I had no choice but to invite her as she had no one in that city. She cried and tried to make me stay with her with many promises that this will never happen again. I did continue with her but just couldn't have full trust in her. She seemed good for a while until she had to go study in another city. She changed for a bit. Not texting or calling as much as she used to. Later on, when she came back home, I asked her about what happened that changed her in that period. She said she had some friends, girls, she knows I don't tolerate guy friends that filled her head with silly thoughts and that she went to nightclubs with them 2 times without me knowing. Considering I made it clear for her that she can't do this kind of thing unless it's with me. I was intoxicated and yet fooled by the immense attachment she showed towards me, as she would always talk about the huge love and appreciation she has for me and obsessively wanting me there next to her 247. At some point, my guts may be so paranoid that I doubted she doesn't love me in the correct way. She maybe just needs someone like me so she can have a secure source of care, validation, and support. So I asked her to give me space. She didn't want to, so I had to push her away because the trust issues started messing with my head. After she gave up trying to stick around, she finally stopped talking. This started by the 2nd day of January 2020. It coincided with her corona quarantine. This gave me a kind of assurance that nothing will happen from her part. And I have to admit that I had to take antidepressants during this period, which I regret doing as I think I had to face my problems without external help. And by the way, while I would check on her from time to time, so we were slightly in touch. 6 months have passed. So I decided to talk to her. She talked back and wanted to meet immediately. We met. And it was like I'm talking to a new version of her that I haven't known before. She had gained some weight and seemed so proud in her way of talking. I knew a lot has been going on. So I started asking what is going on here, and that us meeting now sounds so wrong. She was like, nothing is wrong. We kept talking for about a month. Her with the same proud attitude and me anxious about it. It was obvious that I am attracted to her, but I can't go on like this. So either I feel good in this relationship and continue it or figure what's wrong with it. And try to fix it if it's fixable or just leave it for good. So I did this, which I regret now. I told her that she has to be honest with me. And if she is, I will work it out with her. And that's impossible for me to pretend that she is still the same person and nothing is wrong. At some point, she felt safe to tell me what happened. She told me she's been talking to many guys. She would send her photos wearing underwear to a lot of guys. 2 of them from another city were close to her. She showed them photos of some parts of her body. She was involved with a gym coach and sexting over the quarantine period. My shock was about another gym coach who lived in the same city with who she hung out with 2 times. In the second time, she made out with him and let him touch her body in private parts. She insists it was over her leggings. She confessed that she gave him a hand job as he pulled himself out of his pants, surprisingly, as if she was not expecting it. After all this, she said that she gave me the honesty I wanted and that I have to deal with it and not leave her, but she had no idea how destroyed and disappointed I was at this point. I did what I had to do. I blocked her everywhere and decided to travel to another city. The night before I leave, her friends kept texting me and asking me to check on her for she was really sick because of this. I unblocked her. We talked and ended up by me promising her that we'll meet before I leave the city the next day. We met and she really looked sick and down, started crying and asking for a second chance, and even threw up. So I had to buy her some medication and promise her I will consider what she wants, and will keep in touch with her, which I regret too. Next thing, we messaged each other, and it was the most conflicted period of my life. I started feeling humiliation each time I think of what she did. My self-esteem was never that down before. So out of humiliation, I would ask her why would she do what she did. When we were taking that space, sounds like they were on a break. She said she thought we will never get back together. She said she liked muscular guys, and the guy she made out with was just to try what it feels to be with a fit and tall guy. Of course, you know, I'm automatically comparing myself now. I felt worthless. So I told her to go on and tell me everything and be open about it. I don't know why I did this psychologically, as if I was punishing myself or something. I told her I know I'm not sexy, so it's my fault. Maybe I was looking for her to strongly convince me I'm wrong. Guess what? She didn't. She asked me to start working out and many other BS. I acted as if it's really fine and that her being honest is what exactly I want, no matter what the price. My greatest shock is when she confessed she made out with this guy and gave him a hand job, state déjà vu, after we started talking. It happened 3 days before she came to sleep with me, meaning it happened after we were talking for more than 1 month. Guys, I effed up. I shouldn't have gone that far with her. I'm so humiliated and disrespected. I can go on and on into more details and other crap I heard from her. I'm going crazy as to why she still says I'm the man in her life and how much she wants to be married to me. This toxicity went on for 4 months. Only 4 days ago, I broke up with her, and I'm writing this to help with how much pain I'm feeling. It hurts a lot. Why do I have the urge of wanting to talk to her? How can I stop this pain? This made me lose motivation to do anything in my life. Why would I work out and have a muscular body just to attract a girl on that basis? Even my own principles got conflicted. My perspective and view to women and relationships is contaminated too. Please help. I can spot so much wrong with this situation, as I'm sure you all can and are gonna let us know down in the comments, but let's see what our chosen comment from the communities says. Calvert White says the problem with you is that you are emotionally weak. Anyone can manipulate you emotionally. She knows you too well. That is the reason why she was able to get multiple chances from you. You are a good man. You forgive people easily. You cannot see other suffering. You can't see her hurt. You need to work on yourself. You have to be strong. You need to block her and her friend's number from your phone and delete them. Every woman has different liking, just like us men. Some men like slim girls, while some's likes are curvy. Some men like young girls who look like models, whereas some men like mature women. Some like tall and some like short. It differs from person to person. For instance, I like normal-looking mature women. I don't care about looks, just like us. Every woman has different interests. So you don't have to feel bad because she looks for muscular men. There are lots of women who want a man like you, and why do you give importance to the words of trash like her? Listen to people with high values in life. One of my friends was cheated on by his girlfriend some 10+ years ago. He was crushed at the time, but he's decided not to destroy his life and happiness for a cheater. He started working on himself. He kept himself busy with things that were productive. He worked hard. Today, he's a billionaire. He owns a $58.5 million penthouse in Manhattan. So forget her and work on yourself. Keep yourself busy and doing things that is productive. Save money. Invest in the right places. Go for therapy. I'm not saying it's easy, but you will get there. I wish you all the best. The op responded well to it, saying, "Thank you for this answer. I really think you are a great person. Your words